Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the softball field here at Milford High School as Milford TV is once again happy to bring you coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics. This is Tim Coet on the call as we begin our coverage of the 2018 MIAA playoffs for this Milford Lady Hawks softball team. Milford earning the number 3 seed in the Division I South bracket, and they host a first-round matchup against the number 14 seed out of the Eastern Athletic Conference, the Bishop Feehan Lady Shamrocks. So for Milford, this is, of course, an opportunity for the Lady Hawks to build some new momentum here as they head into softball's second season. After steamrolling their way through 18 wins off the top of the regular season, they ended up scuffling down the stretch, losing their final 2 games of the year, in the process breaking a 43-game winning streak that dated back starting with game number 2 of the 2017 regular season, a winning streak that included a state championship victory for Division I that concluded last June back in 2017. But Milford falling in games against King Philip and North Attleboro down the stretch, a 12-2 loss on the road to KP, followed by a 9-inning defeat, 7-4 the final score in the loss here a little over a week ago on Senior Day against North Attleboro. So Milford has had over a week to stew over those back-to-back defeats, no doubt going back to fundamentals and getting themselves mentally and physically ready for what should be a very difficult run through this Division I South bracket, always loaded with very talented teams, and their opponent on the field here in Milford this afternoon is no different. Bishop Feehan coming in as the 14 seed, but still very good numbers overall on the season for the Lady Shamrocks. They were the victors in the Eastern Athletic Conference, a very good regular season record. They ended up having to play a play-in game despite a 13-8 record through the regular season. They ended up taking on Attleboro High School, a nearby rival, in the preliminary round, the 14-seeded Shamrocks versus the 19-seeded Lady Bombardiers. And Bishop Feehan was able to walk away with a 3-1 victory, earning them the trip here to Milford to take on the reigning Division I state champions. Very good pitching on both sides in this matchup. Of course, Milford will feature their senior captain, Kelly Reichert, and on the Bishop Feehan side, the Lady Shamrocks will have Shauna Hamill on the mound, who is a commit to the University of Rhode Island. A very good arm in the circle for the visitors here today, so we should see a very well-pitched game on both sides, as right now the coaches and captains are out there surrounding home plate going over the ground rules. We should get the first pitch in for this playoff contest in just moments. And for Milford, again, a lot to digest over this last week after those defeats at the end of the regular season. And one of the aspects that will be interesting to see for Milford as we go forward here in these playoffs is how will the defense round back into form. Defense, as we've talked about at length during our regular season broadcasts, was such a hallmark to Milford's success in 2017. But if you look at how the season ended for Milford, they ended up committing 9 errors in total over their final 3 games of the regular season. That included 4 errors in the loss to King Philip and another 3 errors in the loss to North Attleboro here back on May 31st. So committing some key errors in key moments, and that was a huge component of those 2 losses for the Lady Scarlet Hawks. And a defense that does feature many of the same players that took on these MIAA playoffs in 2017. We'll see if those players are able to get right back into the form that made them so successful, playing virtually error-free baseball all the way through those 2017 MIAA playoffs, which of course included a couple of victories here at home before they completed their trek through the Division I South playoff with victories against Hopkinton and Silver Lake in the sectional semifinals and finals, a victory over Newton North in the state semis before conquering Wachusett Regional High School up at Worcester State in the Division I state championship game. And so 8 players returned from that state championship roster, 9 seniors in all on this 2018 team. So there is experience at virtually every single position across this softball field as Milford has now taken the field. Kelly Reichert getting her warm-up tosses underway. So before we get this game started, let's bring you the starting lineups for these 2 teams. We begin with the visitors, the number 14-seeded Bishop Feehan Lady Shamrocks. Leading it off is the center fielder Jessica Levesque, with the shortstop Brooke Strozinski batting second. Kaylee Mankins plays first base and bats third, with Caroline Deem, the third baseman, batting cleanup. Gabrielle Comeau is the catcher, batting fifth, with Shauna Hamill, the starting pitcher, batting sixth. Lauren Archambault is the second baseman, batting seventh, with Hannah Raymer, the designated player, batting eighth. And batting ninth, playing right field, is Isabella Sheeran. And for the Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks, their lineup looking like this, back to full strength for this first-round playoff game. Kate Irwin leads it off in center with the shortstop Emily Pierre-Gustavo batting second. Jess Tomaso bats third and plays first base with the catcher Emily Hartman in the cleanup spot. Maddie Bonvino bats 5th and plays second base, with Shannon Cormier, the right fielder, batting 6th. Kelly Reichert is your starting pitcher, batting 7th, with Sabrina Harstick, the number 8 hitter, playing third base. And in the 9th spot, playing left field, is Antonia Bonina. Both starting pitchers in the starting lineups. Kelly Reichert towing the rubber for the home team. Shauna Hamill will take to the circle in the bottom half of this first inning. But in the meantime, it is time to get playoff softball underway once again here in Milford. A great crowd on hand, both dugouts roaring as the leadoff batter for the Lady Shamrocks, Jessica Levesque, digs in on the left side. Kelly Reichert set to go atop the pitcher's circle. And now into her windup. The first pitch of the game is in the dirt, ticks away from Emily Hartman, and it is ball 1. Happy to have live streaming coverage here for round 1 of the Division I South bracket. A lot of the first round games in D1 South taking place this afternoon. We'll let you know some of those other matchups as the broadcast goes along. Kelly Reichert dealing in the first strike of the ball game to even the count at 1-1. Milford plays in tight at the corner infield spots. And now this ball floated over the head of Sabrina Harstick down the left field line. That's going to get past Bonina and mean extra bases for Levesque, as she will cruise into second base with a leadoff double. So just as we mentioned it, Milford cheating in, expecting the bunt from the speedy leadoff batter, but instead Levesque able to get that one in the air over the head of the drawn-in third baseman. And that one scooting down the line. And the first run of the game already in scoring position for the Lady Shamrocks, who have brought very high volume level to the first base dugout, so much so that they've now drawn the attention of the home plate umpire, who has now alerted the bench that you are not allowed to make excess noise in the dugouts. Not allowed to bang on the gear in the dugouts, but still bringing plenty of volume with their voices, as Reichert deals ball 1 low to Brooks Rosinski. So the Shamrocks not playing at all intimidated here in the top of the first inning. A high energy level, a lot of confidence out of this group. And a runner in scoring position as the 1-0 pitch is in for a strike. Bishop Feehan went undefeated through their league competition this season, going 6-0 against Eastern Athletic Conference opponents. But both of these teams scuffled a little bit down the stretch as the count goes to 1-2 against Strzynski. The next pitch from Reichert is a tapper towards the right side of the infield. This will advance the runner as Bonvino is able to underhand the toss to first base to get the first out of the inning. But a productive out for Strzynski as it moves Levesque along to third base with only one down. And now the number 3 hitter, the first baseman, Kaylee Mankins, will stand in on the right side. And Reichert starts off with a fastball missing for ball 1. But we mentioned it, the struggles at the end of the regular season. We've talked about them for Milford, losing their final 2 games. Bishop Feehan ended up going 2-3 over their final 5. As this ball is hit to the right side, that gets underneath Bonvino's glove, and in from third base to score comes Jessica Levesque. An RBI single for Kaylee Mankins, and just like that, Bishop Feehan is able to take a 1-0 lead. A ground ball base hit. Just got past Bonvino. Didn't quite get that glove down to the dirt. Likely to be ruled a base hit, but a ball that could have potentially gone for out number 2. Instead, the single for Mankins. She gets the RBI. And now a pitch down in the dirt and blocked out in front by Emily Hartman. And right now, the Milford crowd a little bit silent after the strong the strong Bishop Feehan start. The visitors' dugout still in full throat here in the first inning as Reichert deals in a 1-2 pitch. This is hit on the ground. That's going to get past third baseman Sabrina Harstick. And already now the 3rd hit of this first inning against Reichert. It hasn't been a lot of hard contact against Reichert, but well-placed hits. You had the double for Levesque that just barely floated over the left side of the infield, and now a couple of well-placed ground balls getting past Milford at second and third. And so that gives Bishop Feehan runners at first and second, still only one out. And the fifth batter to come to the plate in this top of the first, Gabrielle Camo. And she takes the first pitch for strike one. Milford has been idle since they concluded their regular season back on May 31st. Now a tapper sent down the first base line, but that does kick foul. Coach DeVito, as he always does, keeping his team fresh in this week of inactivity. A couple of scrimmages for Milford. I believe it was Hudson and Holliston who came to town. Here's an 0-2 pitch, and going after it, Camo drives it down the right field line, foul and out of play. Hard to tell if the raucous nature of the visitors' dugout is having an impact on Milford here in the top of the first inning, as they are a bit back on their heels, already trailing 1-0, 2 runners aboard with one out, and another 0-2 pitch and another chopper sent foul. Defensively for the Lady Hawks, it is Emily Hartman back behind the plate, Sabrina Harstick at third, Emily Pierre-Gustavo at short, Maddie Bonvino at second, and Jess Tomaso at first. Left to right in the outfield, Antonia Bonina, Kate Irwin, and Shannon Cormier. Now another 0-2 pitch and wasted outside. Reichert a brief stroll behind the pitcher's circle. Now ready with her 1-2 pitch, and it's a bouncer to shortstop. Waiting for it as Pierre-Gustavo fires high to first base, but she will get the out. That took a tricky hop, a high chopper towards short. Pierre-Gustavo had to wait for it to come down, had to catch it into the midsection before releasing the throw to first base, but getting it there just in time to retire Camo for the second out. 6-3 on the grounder, but both runners do advance, so Mankins is now at third with Deem at second base. And a big at-bat coming up here for the starting pitcher, Shauna Hamill, who drives the first pitch through the right side of the infield for a hit. One run in. Here comes a second runner to the plate. She'll get hung up between third base and home plate. And now Sabrina Harstick able to apply the tag as Caroline Deem is out on the bases. And that will finally conclude things here in the top of the first inning. But Bishop Feehan able to make some noise. They're able to get 4 hits off of Kelly Reichert here in the top of the first inning. And they take a 2-0 lead. Milford will take their first swings of the game when we come back next on this playoff coverage of Milford High School softball on Milford TV. Bottom of the first inning here in Milford, and if you needed a reality check as to how tough a matchup this was going to be for Milford, you received it in that top half of the first inning. Bishop Feehan all over Kelly Reichert to the tune of 2 runs on 4 hits. They ended up running into the final out of the inning on the bases. And so the Lady Hawks now looking to respond. They start to get their energy level up in the dugout as Kate Irwin starts off the offensive attack for Milford, pops up a bunt foul and out of play. As Milford goes up against the Bishop Feehan starting pitcher, Shauna Hamill, who helped her own cause with an RBI single in that first inning rally. There's the 0-1 pitch this time. Getting the bunt down on the ground, but it ticks foul, and Irwin down in the count, 0-2. Kate, excellent offensive numbers through the regular season, notched her 100th career hit about midway through the year. Comes in with a batting average of .487 overall on the season, and will take that ball off the helmet. Hit by the pitch, and she will head down to first base. She immediately pops back up. Coach DeVito will head over to check on his leadoff hitter, but she looks to be all right. Certainly the danger of being a slash hitter running up to those pitches. That time the pitch running inside, Irwin taking it off the helmet. Looked like from the gesture she took it off the right side of the helmet, collapsed to her teammates in the dugout. Kate good to go. And immediately Milford will bring the tying run to the plate in the form of last year's Hockomock League MVP, Emily Pierre-Gustavo. Emily coming in after enjoying a very good regular season, a .439 batting average through the regular season for Pierre-Gustavo. Had 29 hits and 66 regular season at-bats, had 7 doubles, 2 triples, 5 homers, and 35 runs batted in. And now sends a high fly ball out to left field, back towards the fence, and that ball is gone. And 2 batters into this bottom of the first inning. Milford ties the score at 2. A 2-run home run for the senior captain, Emily Pierre-Gustavo. And so Milford immediately finds the response. Irwin with the hit by pitch. And Pierre-Gustavo immediately launching the home run over the left field fence. All Caroline Feely could do was turn around and watch it go. So 5 regular season home runs for Pierre-Gustavo, and now you can tack a postseason long ball to that resume. And all tied up at 2. Bases empty now for Jess Tomaso, who takes a pitch up and in for ball 1. And suddenly, the momentum is in the third base dugout as the Lady Hawks bench players make their voices heard. Tomaso takes that pitch for a called strike on the inside part of the plate. So many huge playoff at-bats for Emily Pierre-Gustavo a year ago. And now Jess Tomaso with a little floater to the third base side, and nothing Caroline Deem could do about it. It looked like both Deem and the starting pitcher, Shauna Hamill, got caught looking at one another. That ball just died about equidistant between the pitcher's circle and the third base bag, and by the time the ball came to a stop, Tomaso was at first base with an infield single. So the first 3 have reached against Shauna Hamill. And that brings Emily Hartman to the batter's box, and I'm sure there was no player on this Lady Hawks team more anxious for this playoff game to arrive than Emily Hartman, who was forced to be a spectator in that final game of the regular season. A little antsy in this first at-bat of the game as she floats one foul behind first base. Kaylee Mankin's able to make the catch, and that is the first out of this bottom of the first inning. Tomaso retreats to the first base bag, and now Maddie Bonvino will dig in. Bonvino saw the batting average dip just under the 500 mark right at the end of the regular season. Still an excellent average through 20 regular season games. .493, drove in 24 runs, and also had 5 homers. Takes a called strike here with the count now even at 1-1. Neither one of these offenses waiting around, generating offense early as that ball ricochets foul. That might have actually come back and gotten Bonvino in the helmet. Again, Coach DeVito taking a couple of steps in to check on this player, but Bonvino good to go. Now down in the count, a 1-2 pitch. This one sent foul off the backstop. Defensively for Bishop Feehan, it's Gabrielle Comeau behind the plate, Caroline Deem at third, Brooks Rosinski at short, Lauren Archambault at second, and Kaylee Mankins at first. Left to right in the outfield, Caroline Feely, Jessica Levesque, and Isabella Sheeran. Pitch misses high. Caroline Feely flexed out of the starting lineup, so she is only playing defensively out and left. It's a 2-ball, 2-strike count with 1 out and a runner aboard at first. And the next pitch on the way, and this is sent high in the air in foul ground down the third base line, but that will twist out of play. A light breeze blowing from right to left across the playing surface. Very comfortable conditions, a nice late spring, early summer day. Hazy cloud cover overhead, very good conditions to get the playoffs started. As this time Bonvino rockets the ball foul and out of play, just a little bit out in front. making Hamill work. And another 2-2 pitch, this one down in the dirt. Bonvino lays off, and the count will run full. Bonvino did strike out 9 times in the regular season, so we'll see if Tomaso gets the head start at first. She does go. The pitch misses down and in for ball 4. They throw through to second base, but a moot point as Tomaso will get the free trip to second on the walk to Bonvino. And it's 2 on with 1 down for Shannon Cormier. Shannon takes the first pitch for a called strike 1. Just a slight shift in the lineup for Coach DeVito heading into these playoffs. We saw Shannon Cormier batting out of the 5th spot through most of the season, flip-flopping spots with Bonvino. Here she sends a pop-up out towards second base. The infield fly rule in effect as Archambault makes the catch. Tomaso and Bonvino holding at their respective bases. There are now 2 outs in the inning. And a chance now for Kelly Reichert. We saw Hamill come through with a run batted in for Feehan in the top half of the inning. Now an opportunity for Reichert with 2 on and 2 out. Lets the first pitch go inside and low for ball 1. Kelly Reichert, a .425 regular season batting average. She did drive in 26 runs. And sends a hard shot down the right field line, foul, heading off just over the large crowd positioned just beyond the field of play down the right field line. Always a popular spot, never more so than this playoff game today. It looks like it goes several rows deep down there in right field. The 1-1 pitch, that misses inside. Kelly in the regular season with 9 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs. She had 31 total hits on the season. And now takes a strike. Milford with 2 runs so far in this inning to tie the score. An opportunity to take the lead if they can get something out of Reichert here. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's grounded towards shortstop. It gets past Brooks Rosinski out into left field. Here comes the runaround from second base as Tomaso scores. And Milford is indeed able to come through with a 2-out run batted in to take the lead. It is now 3-2 in favor of the Lady Hawks. Rosinski unable to make the play at shortstop. Allows Tomaso to come in from second. Bonvino ended up holding at second base. So it is once again runners at first and second base as Milford will send their 8th batter to the plate in this first inning. It is Sabrina Harstick, one of just 2 players that did not play a starting role on this team in the playoffs in 2017, but played a major role in the offense through this 2018 regular season. Harstick, an outstanding year, batting .471 on the season. That included 5 doubles, a pair of triples, a pair of home runs, and 23 runs batted in. She's also played solid defense at third base, taking over for one of the top defenders this Milford softball team has seen in Caitlin DeCapua, but has filled those shoes well. Now up there with a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Reichert runs for herself at first base. No courtesy runner for the pitcher. As now Harstick drives one in the air out to center field. Going back is Levesque. She has it sized up, makes the catch. And that out will retire the side, but Milford is able to answer back with 3 runs after the 2-run rally out of Bishop Feehan, and after 1 full inning of play, it is now Milford 3 and Bishop Feehan 2 on this playoff coverage of Milford High School softball on Milford TV. Both teams able to flex their muscles in the first inning. 2 runs for Bishop Feehan, 3 runs for Milford. And the playoffs off and running here in Milford, and now first pitch swinging. The ball hit on the ground to the left side of the infield. It got past Harstick. A nice attempt for Pierre Gustavo to back up the play, but too much speed for Lauren Archambault, and she's able to start off the second inning with an infield base hit. 5 hits now through just an inning plus for the Lady Shamrocks. And now a first pitch strike into the number 8 hitter, Hannah Raymer. Showed bunt, but pulled the bat back and took that strike. This time is able to get the bunt down. Reichert pounces on it, fires to first base to get the out there with Bonvino covering the bag. Safe at second base is Archambault as she advances. Hannah Raymer credited with the sacrifice bunt. Bottom of the lineup trying to manufacture things here against Kelly Reichert. Kelly, of course, with sparkling numbers through the regular season, through 106 innings in the 2018 regular season, ended up with a 17-2 record. She allowed a total of 24 earned runs through those 106 innings pitched. She walked just 15 batters, struck out 120. Finished the regular season with a 1.58 ERA and a whip of .92. One of the top pitchers in the Hockomock League. Now ready to deliver a 1-1 pitch. It's tapped foul at the plate. Off the bat of the number 9 hitter, Isabella Sheeran. Reichert was the pitcher of record in both of those losses to conclude the regular season. Looking to bounce back off of her first 2 defeats of the year as she delivers a pitch right on the outside part of the plate, but ruled a ball. That's a close one. 2-2 now. Kelly right back into the windup. Her pitch bounces in front of the plate. And it's now a full count on Sheeran, with Jessica Levesque lurking in the on-deck circle as the top of the Lady Shamrocks order. Once again, the visitors' dugout rocking. The payoff pitch is swung on and missed. Kelly Reichert with a rising fastball, and Sheeran chased it. That's the first strikeout for Kelly in the game. Two outs now. That runner remains at second base for Levesque. Was able to lead off the ball game with a double. Came around to score the first Feehan run. Takes another close pitch that misses for a ball. And now 2-0 the count. Reichert trying to work that inside part of the plate to the left-handed batter. Now the 2-0 pitch, it's hit on the ground towards shortstop. Diving play for Pierre Gustavo. She bluffs the throw to first base. No chance to get the speed of Levesque, trying to draw that runner around the third base bag. But Archambault held up right around third base. And so an infield hit for Levesque gives Feehan runners at the corners. Coach DeVito barking out the orders to his defense. With Archambault at third, Levesque at first, and now a chance for Brooks Rosinski. She swings at the first pitch and chops it to short. Pierre Gustavo plays the bounce, and a good accurate throw to first base. And Milford's able to shut down the Feehan rally here in the second inning. The visitors strand runners at the corners in the frame. We head on to the bottom half of the second inning. It is still 3-2 in favor of Milford in this first round matchup in the Division I South playoff bracket here on Milford TV. Batters 9-1-2 coming up for the Lady Hawks in the bottom half of the second inning. Feehan threatening again in the top half of this inning, but could not score. First pitch into the number 9 hitter, Antonia Bonina, is a called strike. And now a called strike on the outside part of the plate. Bonina with a quick look back to the home plate ump. She falls behind in the count. The next pitch from Shauna Hamill is floated out to shallow left field, but in was Caroline Feely, positioned well to make the play. And Bonina is out number 1. Antonia Bonina, the other new addition to the starting lineup for this 2018 season, and provided Milford with almost back-to-back leadoff hitters with her great speed and on-base ability. Unable to get on here in the second, and so with 1 down, we'll see the second at-bat of the game for Kate Irwin, hoping for a less painful at-bat this time around after she took a pitch off the helmet to get on in the bottom half of the first and came around to score on the 2-run blast from Pierre Gustavo. Taps that ball foul to bring the count to 1-1. Fans continuing to filter in as this playoff game goes on. Watching a good one take place here on the Milford softball field as again the bunt goes foul off the bat of Irwin. Kate with 37 hits in the regular season. That was tops on the team. Now the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. With the big bats looming for Milford, Irwin trying to get on, sends a sinking line drive out to center field, and Levesque was unable to play it. They'll send the throw all the way back into first base to keep Irwin close. Kate will take any opportunity to advance a base, and with her speed, she can pull it off. That ball hit very shallow out in center field. A nice effort from Levesque. She came sliding in feet first to try to make the catch, but just could not corral it. And so Irwin on with a hit, and now Pierre Gustavo swings at the first pitch. She shoots it out to shallow right field. That gets past the second baseman. Irwin had to hang up in case that ball was caught, but she's able to advance to second base, and Pierre Gustavo, who has not been hanging around, swinging early in the count through both of her at-bats, and she's now 2 for 2. So runners on now ahead of Tommaso. Back-to-back singles for Milford as they now have 5 hits. And the first pitch darts low and inside. A lot of dancing off the second base bag for Irwin, but she holds there. Tommaso reached on an infield single her first time up. Here's the 1-0, and it misses high. Next pitch from Hamill is hit high in the air. That one out to center field. An easier play this time for Jessica Levesque. She makes the play. And Irwin has to hold at second base, and a big second out recorded. And Milford will now look for something out of their junior catcher, Emily Hartman, to keep the inning alive. Hartman fouled out her first time up, and now takes a pitch inside. Emily leading the team in batting average in the regular season at .507. At 29 runs batted in, 3 home runs. And now hits one on the ground to shortstop. A low throw to first base that's picked on the back end by Kaylee Mankins. And Hartman concludes the inning with that ground out to the left side. Milford strands a pair of runners on. They've stranded 4 through the first 2 innings, but they do lead by a score of 3-2 over the number 14 seeded Bishop Feehan Shamrocks on this playoff coverage of Milford High School softball on Milford TV. Top of the 3rd inning here in Milford, site of a first-round playoff matchup between the 3-seeded Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks and the 14-seeded Bishop Feehan Lady Shamrocks. Tight ball game early on here. Now first pitch swinging, Kaylee Mankins drives one out to center. Pretty deep out there, but it stays in the yard, and Irwin is able to make the catch. And a fast out for Kelly Reichert, who's had to do some hard work through these early innings. She's able to retire the number 3 hitter on just 1 pitch. Now Caroline Deem stands in on the right side. Deem had one of the 4 first inning hits, but was ultimately thrown out. She got hung up between third base and the plate on the RBI single by Shauna Hamill, and ended up ending that rally. Now chops one foul behind the third base coach to bring the count to a ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2. It's a chopper to first base, right into the glove of Tomaso. She'll take it to the bag unassisted. And it's 2 up and 2 down, and nothing Reichert would like more than a quick and easy inning. 2 outs and the base is empty now for the catcher, Gabrielle Camo. Oh for 1 on the afternoon. Takes the pitch up and away for ball 1. Now 2-0 the count. You look back to how the 2017 playoffs started for Milford in their first 2 rounds of the playoffs, playing here on their home field. They outscored opponents 25-1. Victories over Plymouth South and Norwood. As this ball is hit right back up the middle, a comebacker. And that gets through into center field for a 2-out single for Camo. That keeps the inning alive. And so some fans may have come into these playoffs expecting perhaps some relatively low-stress games through these early rounds, but it is a different landscape in this Division I South bracket. Here in 2018, there are no easy outs anywhere in this bracket. If you need a reminder of that, you can look at the preliminary round yesterday in which the number 11 seed Natick was upset by New Bedford, who moves on to face Bridgewater Raynham in the first round. The winner of that game will face the winner of this game in the quarterfinals. Everyone needing to be on their toes. You're playing in D1 South as now this ball is smacked hard towards shortstop. Quick release on the throw from Pierre Gustavo, and she gets it to first base in time for the out. Terrific play from Pierre Gustavo as that was slow developing at short, but she made it up with a very quick release on the throw and is able to retire Shauna Hamill and Milford out of this top of the 3rd inning with no harm done. We play on to the bottom half of the frame. It is still Milford 3 and Bishop Feehan 2 on this playoff coverage of Milford High School softball on Milford TV. Maddie Bonvino paces this bottom half of the 3rd inning for the Lady Hawks. Feehan getting a 2-out hit in the top half of the 3rd, but that was all. Now Shauna Hamill back out there. Deals ball 1 in high. And quickly, Gabrielle Camo will pop up from behind home plate for Conference on the circle. Perhaps not on the same page with that first pitch, so wanting to make sure the communication was clear as the at-bat continues for Bonvino, who walked her first time up. Both dugouts continue to operate at near maximum volume. We actually had a second instance in that last inning where the home plate umpire had to quiet down the Feehan dugout. Apparently there's an MIAA rule on the books that you cannot bang on anything in the dugouts, in particular in the playoffs, and that has been a reminder that Feehan has needed twice so far through 3 innings. But you certainly have to credit Feehan for not being at all intimidated coming in here to the home of the reigning state champs. Still very much in this ball game at 3-2. Feehan right now out hitting Milford 7-5. But Milford grabbing 2 runs with just 1 swing of the bat, courtesy of Emily Pierre Gustavo in the first inning. As Bonvino is taking all the way on the 3-1 count, and it's now full. Shannon Cormier and Kelly Reichert to follow in the inning. And now the 3-2 pitch. Bonvino goes after it, pops it up in foul ground. It's playable, perhaps. No, it drifts over the fence. That one continued to slice away from Caroline Dean, who momentarily looked to have it sized up. But that one drifting over into the Milford bullpen. Bonvino with another crack at it with a 3-2 count. There's the pitch, and it's chopped foul, knocked down by Coach DeVito. Head coach Steve DeVito now in his 5th season at the helm of this softball program. Another 3-2 pitch for Bonvino. She pops this one up in fair territory this time, right in the direction of second baseman Lauren Archambault, who makes the catch. Had an opportunity to speak at length with Coach DeVito this week in a piece that aired on the Milford Informer last night. Will re-air over the course of the weekend. Also had a chance to talk to the Milford head coach live over on MyFM 101.3 on the Sports Buzz this morning. A lot of good insight on this softball season and the team's mindset heading into the playoffs, as now Shannon Cormier sends one hard in and out of the glove of the pitcher Shauna Hamill, and her throw to first base does not get there in time. Credit Cormier for hustling all the way down the line and is able to beat out the infield single. Hamill couldn't squeeze it on the hard grounder back into the circle. By the time she was able to recover and make the throw to first base, Cormier was able to beat it out to a 1-out base runner. And now ball one delivered low into Kelly Reichert. Kelly, by our scoring, credited with an RBI single in the first inning and a ball that got past Brooks Rosinski at shortstop. And now sends one hard and foul off towards the parking lot. One ball, one strike, 1 out, and a runner aboard at first base with Milford up by a run. And now Kelly out in front a bit as Hamill sent an off-speed pitch in. Reichert sends it foul, and it's now 1-2. Wind starting to blow out a bit now towards left field as the 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Good pitch for Hamill, gets Reichert. That's the first strikeout for the Feehan starter this afternoon. Cormier remains at first base with now 2 down, and Sabrina Harstick up for her second at bat. She flew out to center field back in the first. Swings at the first pitch here and hits it out to right. The second baseman now a step into foul territory. Archambault makes the catch. And that out will retire the side. Milford strands their 5th base runner of the game. And we are through 3 full innings of play now from the Milford softball field, where it is the Lady Hawks enjoying a 3-2 lead over the Bishop Feehan Lady Shamrocks right here on Milford TV. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors from Milford. 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Bishop Feehan. Into the top half of the 4th inning now, where Feehan will send up the bottom third of their order. Lauren Archambault to lead it off after she made a nice rangy catch out in shallow right field to conclude the last inning, and now sends a sharp line drive back up the middle for a base hit. Archambault now 2 for 2. Reached on an infield single to lead off the second. And now opens up this top of the 4th with a hard hit ball back up the middle. And now immediately, Hannah Raymer showing bunt. And so it's the bottom of the order trying to get something going again. In that second inning, after Archambault opened with a single, we saw a sacrifice bunt out of Raymer to push the runner along. Archambault was eventually stranded at third base. But again, Raymer trying to get that sac bunt down. Shows bunt again, but the pitch comes in low and inside. One ball and one strike. And now the pitch, another bunt attempt down the third base line, and Sabrina Harstick waiting for that one to roll foul before she picks it up. And the count goes to 1-2. So we'll see if the bunt play is still on now with 2 strikes. The number 9 hitter, Isabella Sheeran, waiting on deck. Reichert accepting the sign from Hartman. Now the 1-2 is sent just past the reach of Reichert in the circle. It drifts out into center field. So Raymer able to hang in there after the bunt is taken off. She swings away and is able to come through with a single. So Feehan gets the bonus. They're able to advance the runner to second base. Raymer reaches as well, and now something cooking for the visitors. 2 on with nobody out. On a day where every single first-round matchup in Division I South is going on. A lot of the games about to get underway in the 3 o'clock hour. As now the first pitch of the at-bat is a tapper to third base, in and out of the glove of Harstick, and she will not get an out in any direction. You could see just a little bit of indecision for Sabrina as she fielded that ball. Looked as if she wanted to swipe the tag on Archambault crossing towards third base, but then the ball trickled out of Harstick's glove, and no outs recorded, and all 3 bases are now filled up as we'll go back to the top spot in the Feehan order. A big opportunity now for Feehan. And Jessica Levesque with a big swing on the first pitch sends it foul. You'd think that would go as an error on Harstick, allowing Sheeran to reach. Here's the 0-1, and it's a grounder foul. And Reichert able to jump ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes for Levesque, who is 2 for 2. She doubled and scored in the first, reached on an infield single in the second. Now the 0-2 pitch. And this is up and away. Levesque not inclined to chase. Feehan with the tying run at second. Excuse me, the tying run at third, the go-ahead run at second. The bases are filled up. And now a 1-2 pitch, and it's trouble out in the gap in right center field. Down for a hit, that rolls to the fence. 1 run in, a second run streaking towards the plate as Raymer scores. Right behind her is Sheeran. She will score. Now the throw into third base, and it gets away from Harstick, and in safely with a bases clearing triple is Jessica Levesque, and Feehan is able to jump back on top as they score 3 times, and they're going to open up a 5-3 lead on Milford, as now it looks like we'll have some conversation. So the runner out at the plate, the third run out at the plate. So it is a 4-3 score as Levesque ends up at third base. So in all likelihood credited with a double. She takes third on the throw. So now Brooks Rosinski in there as the action continues fast and furious. So Archambault and Raymer score. The out recorded at the plate as Sheeran tried to come around from first base. So now 1 out in the inning, a runner at third base. A called strike poured in. 2-1 now the count. So how about the day atop the lineup for Jessica Levesque, 3 for 3. Now a pair of extra base hits, 2 runs driven in, a run scored, and now perched at third base. As now we see another hard hit ball out to right center field. That's down for a hit. It's off the fence. As Levesque comes in to score, the throw comes into second base. It's not in time. A double for Straczynski, and now a 5th run on the board for the Bishop Feehan Lady Shamrocks. They open up a 5-3 lead. And this prompts a visit now to the pitcher's circle for head coach Steve DeVito. And there has been just absolutely zero intimidation factor in this game for Bishop Feehan. They have been ready to go right from the first pitch. Milford able to answer with 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning after the early rally for Feehan, and after a couple of quiet innings, the Lady Shamrocks right back to work here in the 4th. They've now come through with 4 hits in this inning, 2 of them for extra bases. And they now enjoy a 5-3 lead over Milford as the conference breaks up on the circle. Kaylee Mankins now at the plate with 1 out and a runner at second base, and she'll take a look at a called strike 1. Feehan now with 11 hits off of Kelly Reichert. Defending state champs on the ropes here in the first round on their home field. Now a ground ball hit to shortstop, a slow chopper towards Pierre Gustavo. She can't play it cleanly, and the runners will be safe. And so that will likely go as the second error in this inning for Milford. So playing a clean game through the first 3, but now errors on both of the left side infield spots. As first pitch swinging, the ball grounded to second base. Bonvino was able to swipe the tag on the runner advancing towards second base. The throw to first was not in time to complete the double play. So Caroline Deem safe on the fielder's choice. Straczynski able to advance to third base. Out at second on the play was Mankins. Puts runners at the corners with 2 down, and now a shot to the opposite field, down for a hit. Another run will come in to score for Feehan as the throw comes back into Jess Tomaso on the first base side. An RBI single for Gabrielle Camo, her second hit of the game. And it is now a 6-3 lead for Bishop Feehan, as they will now send their 9th batter to the plate in this 4th inning. Straczynski scores. Caroline Deem able to go from first to third. And the hits just keep on coming in this 4th inning for the Lady Shamrocks. Now a chance for Shauna Hamill. She swings at the first pitch, grounds it to third. Harstick, the throw to first base, getting there in time for the out that finally ends the inning, but not before Feehan sends all 9 of their batters to the plate in the top of the 4th inning, and they turn a 3-2 deficit into a 6-3 lead. As we move on now to the bottom half of the 4th inning, this is the first round of the 2018 MIAA playoffs right here on Milford TV. When you think back to the 2017 playoff run for Milford, there were only 2 games in which Milford trailed. They trailed after a half an inning 1-0 to Norwood in the quarterfinal round. In a game they ultimately won 17-1. They trailed for all of a half an inning in that game. They trailed early, of course, in the state championship game to Wachusett before ultimately battling back for a 7-3 victory. But in every other game they played in their playoff run last season, Milford was able to play from ahead. They have already trailed now twice in this game here today against Bishop Feehan. They were able to battle back to take the lead after falling behind in the first inning. We'll see what kind of fight Milford has in them here in the bottom of the first, now trailing 6-3. And Antonia Bonina leading off the inning, jumping ahead 2-0. And now offering at the pitch, floating it out to left field. That's going to get over the head of Caroline Feely. Extra bases for Bonina. She continues around towards third base where she will get there. That one just ticking off the outstretched glove of Caroline Feely. She was playing shallow. Could not track that ball back. And so a leadoff triple for the speedy Antonia Bonina. And we'll see if that can spark a Milford rally. As the Lady Hawks will now go third time through the lineup. Kate Irwin watches ball one drop in low. Kate's been on base twice. A hit by pitch in the first and a single in the second. A 1-0 pitch hit hard towards second base, scooped up by Archambault. They out-recorded at first base, but in the back door from third base to score comes Antonia Bonina, so credit Kate Irwin with an RBI. And so that narrows the gap now to 6-4. The base is empty for Emily Pierre-Gustavo, who has been red hot through 2 at-bats in this game, takes a high strike. A 2-run homer in the first and a sharp single in the second for Pierre-Gustavo. Locked in early here in the playoffs. Up there now with a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. A lot of anxious faces in the Milford crowd. Pierre-Gustavo lets that ball go for a called strike 2. Shauna Hamill ready with her 1-2 pitch. This is driven in the air out to right field, but right in the direction of Isabella Sheeran, who's able to make the catch. Two outs now in the inning. That brings up Jess Tomaso. Reached on an infield single and scored a run in the first, and then flew out to center field in the second. Takes a fastball up and away for ball 1. Jess offering it a pitch up in the strike zone, sends it foul over the backstop. Jess led the team in runs batted in the regular season with 42. 42 runs batted in, 5 homers, a triple, 14 doubles. So Tomaso an RBI and an extra base machine here in her senior year for Milford. And it's now a 3-ball, 1-strike count to Tomaso with Emily Hartman waiting on deck. Tomaso, a hard ground ball through the right side of the infield for a 2-out base hit. Jess now 2 for 3 on the day. And Milford will have a chance to bring the tying run to the plate in this 4th inning in the person of Emily Hartman. Emily has seemed a little anxious at the plate in her first 2 at-bats. A foul out to the first baseman and a ground out to shortstop. Outside of Milford's scrimmage action this week, this is the first in-game at-bats for Emily Hartman since early in that King Philip game back on May 29th. Here she pops one up, medium depth out into center field. An easy play for Jessica Levesque to make the catch for the out that ends the inning. Milford is able to grab a run after the leadoff triple by Antonia Bonina. The ground ball by Kate Irwin drives in the run, so it is now a 6-4 score. But Milford trailing King Philip as we head into the later innings of this first-round playoff matchup on Milford TV. Kelly Reichert returns to the pitcher's circle for this top half of the 5th inning. It has been A rough day in the circle for Kelly so far. She's allowed 6 runs on 11 hits to Bishop Feehan, allowing 4 runs on 4 hits in the top of the 4th inning. And once again, we'll face the 7, 8, and 9 hitters who set the table for that 4-run rally last inning. Lauren Archambault, who is 2 for 2, a pair of singles, jumps ahead in the count 2-0. And now a chopper to third base. That eats up Sabrina Harstick. It's backed up by Pierre Gustavo, but Archambault will reach. Very hard hit ball to third. And some more base runners for Bishop Feehan. And now a bunt attempt out of Hannah Raymer that goes foul. Raymer last inning trying to get the bunt down, was unable to do it, but eventually was able to knock one back up the middle for a base hit. Later came around to score. And now the bunt foul once again around home plate. Raymer is in an 0-2 hole. Feehan loud in the dugout yet again as the 0-2 pitch is delivered, and that is through the left side of the infield for a base hit. So once again, Raymer down in the count with some excellent 2-strike hitting. Comes through with her 2nd hit in as many innings. And Kelly Reichert just unable to put away these hitters this afternoon. She has just 1 strikeout. It's 2 on with nobody out, and Feehan just right back to work. The 0-1 pitch now into the number 9 hitter, Isabella Sheeran, is driven out in the air deep to left field, back towards the fence, and that ball is gone. A 3-run homer for Isabella Sheeran. And Bishop Feehan now is going to take a 9-4 lead on Milford. The number 9 hitter touches them all. And this Milford crowd shocked into silence. An infield single for Archambault, a single with 2 strikes by Hannah Raymer, and Sheeran leaves the yard. And Milford now staring up at a 5-run deficit in the 5th inning. Not at all what Scarlet Hawks fans were expecting in the first round of the playoffs, but Feehan has come to play, and they have really shown some skill here against the defending state champs. The base is empty with still no outs in the inning. And a 2-1 count on the leadoff hitter, Jessica Levesque, who has been a major thorn in Reichert's side today. 3 for 3, 2 doubles, 2 runs batted in, 2 runs scored. And now delivers a hard ground ball foul wide of first base. Milford seeing a 43-game winning streak come to an end in their penultimate game of the regular season, finished the regular season on a 2-game losing streak, and now facing a huge battle here in the first round of the playoffs. And Maddie Bonvino, very nice play, going to her right to stab that ball. Makes the throw to first base, and finally Milford able to retire Levesque for the first time. 4-3 on the ground out. That's just out number 1 here in the 5th. And now Brooks Rosinski up for the 4th time. She collected an RBI on a double last inning. And now that pitch in for a called strike. So after Milford was able to score 3 times to take the lead in the bottom of the 1st, it's now been 7 unanswered runs, or I should say 6. Milford was able to grab a run in their half of the 4th inning on that RBI ground out for Kate Irwin, but still 7 of the last 8 runs in this game have been scored by Bishop Feehan. On a field where Milford softball has been all but unbeatable over the last several seasons. 1-2 pitch now. Reichert taking something off that one, but it misses. And a count of 2-2 now on Straczynski. Prior to that loss to North Attleboro on the final day of the regular season, Milford had not lost here at home since early in the 2015 season. They had not lost a softball contest here in the regular season or the postseason in all of 2016, all of 2017, and all of 2018 up until that final regular season game. But now they trail here at home in the playoffs. 2 outs now after that line out to shortstop, and now a floater hit over towards first base. Tommaso will make the play. So Straczynski retired on the line out to short, and then Kaylee Mankins out 3 unassisted. And that finishes off the top of the 5th inning, but not before the bottom of the order once again sparks the Feehan offense, highlighted by the 3-run home run by Isabella Sheeran to give Feehan a 9-4 lead on Milford in this first-round playoff matchup on Milford TV. It is now the bottom of the 5th. First-round action in the 2018 MIAA tournament in Division I South for softball. The defending state champs in some big-time trouble, down 9-4. They will send batters 5, 6, and 7 to the plate against Shauna Hamill. Hamill has allowed 8 hits to Milford in this game, but she has managed to make some key pitches when she's needed to limit the damage. Milford with 6 runners stranded in this game. She's able to deal in a couple of strikes to jump ahead of Maddie Bonvino, 0-2. And now missing high with the pitch. One ball and 2 strikes. And now this ball floated out into shallow left field. That one actually touching down right at the edge of the infield dirt, but placed well for Bonvino for a leadoff base hit. Milford trying to keep the energy level up in that third base dugout. The fans eerily quiet here. Very much not used to seeing Milford in this kind of position. Hoping to see their team come through with a rally in these later innings. They do get the leadoff runner on. Now Shannon Cormier at the plate. She's able to leg out an infield single her last time up. Shauna Hamill very calm in the circle. 1-1 pitch, and this one sliced out to left field. That drops in for a hit. Back-to-back singles. Milford in need of base runners. They've got a pair on here with nobody out. And now a chance for Kelly Reichert. It has not been at all the start that Kelly was hoping for in the circle here this afternoon, but trying to come through at the plate. Watches the first pitch miss high. Kelly did drive in one of Milford's 4 runs back in the first inning, I should say. And struck out swinging in the third. Chops one back to the circle. Hamill will fire to third base to cut down the lead runner. A heads-up play for the starting pitcher. Bonvino out on the play. Reichert reaches on the fielder's choice. So that brings the first out of the inning. Once again, it's runners at first and second base. Harstick at the plate. Sabrina looking for her first hit today. Harstick and Hartman, the only members of the Milford lineup that have not reached base. Sabrina jumping ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. The next pitch on the way, sent foul. Milford now in double digits in the hit column. And now a swing and a miss. Harstick late on that high fastball, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And now Harstick sending a ball in the air towards second base, still on the infield dirt, playable for Archambault. And so from 2 on with nobody out, it's now 2 on with 2 outs for Milford, and they will look for a pick-me-up out of the number 9 spot, where Antonia Bonina was able to come through with a triple her last time up. Now floats one in foul ground behind third base, a diving attempt for Caroline Deem, but just could not get there. That ball didn't hang up in the air long enough. This will be a huge statement for Feehan if they can come through with the shutdown inning after extending the lead. The 0-2 pitch, and it's a tapper, hit slowly past the circle, backed up at shortstop, the throw to first base, and it is not there in time. Antonia Bonina able to beat it out. You could tell that was trouble once it got past Hamill in the circle. Brooks Rosinski doing everything she could do to back up the play at shortstop, but too much speed for Bonina. On with the infield single, and that will now load the bases for Kate Irwin. Kate lets the first pitch go for ball 1. Kate had a couple of situations in the playoffs last year where she came up with the bases loaded and was able to get the ball in the air to drive in key runs as part of that state championship run. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. A crucial moment in this game. Milford down by 5 with the bases loaded. And a 1-1 pitch into Kate. She'll send it foul off the left side. And Hamill now 1 strike away from getting out of it. Emily Pierre-Gustavo hoping to get a chance to bat in this inning. She waits on deck, and now timeout granted. Irwin takes a stroll out of the left side batter's box. And the senior now ready to go. The pitch from Hamill is a chopper back to the circle, stabbed on the way by Shauna Hamill. She fires to first to get the out. That will end this inning. And Milford strands the bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th inning. They cannot score. And we play on now to the 6th, where it is still Bishop Feehan 9 and Milford 4 on this playoff coverage of Milford High School softball on Milford TV. The Lady Scarlet Hawks now with 9 runners stranded through 5 innings in this game. And most notably leaving them loaded in the bottom of the 5th. So once again, credit Shauna Hamill for keeping her composure on the circle. Not an easy task taking on the defending state champs. Who was able to make a key pitch against Kate Irwin, getting the ground ball back to the circle to conclude that bottom of the 5th inning. Now Kelly Reichert back out for the 6th. And first pitch sent on the ground to shortstop. Pierre Gustavo to first. Caroline Deem retired on just 1 pitch. Bishop Feehan now with 9 runs on 14 hits in the game. Milford with 4 runs on 10 hits. And make that 11 hits for the Lady Scarlet Hawks. Milford has also committed a pair of errors in the game. Now a fly ball off the bat of Gabrielle Camo. It's reeled in at shortstop by Pierre Gustavo, and it's 2 up and 2 down quickly. Milford with 6 outs left to work with at the plate in this game. Needing a late rally, but first some business to finish up here in the top of the 6th inning as Shauna Hamill flies out. First pitch swinging to right field, and for the first time in this game, Kelly Reichert able to produce a 1-2-3 inning. So Milford will come right back up to the plate. They've got the big bats looming, and Pierre Gustavo, Tomaso, and Hartman looking for a comeback, trailing 9-4. The action continues in moments here on Milford TV. Into the bottom of the 6th inning, and the Lady Scarlet Hawks staring up at a 5-run deficit, down 9-4. Big innings in the 1st, 4th, and 5th for the Lady Shamrocks. And Shauna Hamill committing a balk before she even delivers her first pitch of the inning. All she can do is laugh at herself, getting hung up in her mechanics. And now deals in the first pitch high, so it is a 2-0 count. Ball 1 ruled on the balk. 2-0 to Pierre Gustavo. We're going to get this 6th inning started strong. Now ahead in the count 3-0. And if any batter in this lineup would have the green light on 3-0, it would be Emily Pierre Gustavo. See if she gets one she likes here. Ahead in the count. And instead takes it low and inside for ball 4. So Hamill wanted no part of Pierre Gustavo there, down 3-0, and instead Pierre Gustavo will work the leadoff walk. And now another conversation between Camo and Hamill. There haven't been many in this game, as Hamill has been able to pitch herself effectively in and out of danger for the most part in this game. Again, 3 runs allowed in the 1st inning, 2 of those coming off the bat of Pierre Gustavo on the home run, but since then, she's limited Milford to just the 4th inning run on the ground out by Kate Irwin. Most recently was able to pitch out of a bases loaded jam in the 5th. She'll be taking her pitching talents to URI in the fall. And Tomaso laying off that pitch, and immediately you could see the body language after she let a good one go by as the count evens at a ball and a strike. Expecting something different there on the 1-0 count. Now takes a pitch high, 2-0. Now a foul ball hit hard to the backstop, and again Tomaso showing a little bit of frustration. Jess, as always, wears the emotions close to the surface. He's been so dedicated to this program, and you can just see with every play the all-out effort from Tomaso. She's now gone to a 3-2 count, so an opportunity for Pierre Gustavo to get a bit of a head start. Hamill pitching carefully to the big bats in the Milford lineup, and now deals the pitch low and inside. Back-to-back walks to open up this 6th inning. 3 walks in the game now for Shauna Hamill. So Hamill wanting to make Milford prove that some of the other bats in this lineup besides Pierre Gustavo and Tommaso can beat her. Hartman offers at the first pitch and drives it out of play off to the right side. Hartman 0 for 3. She is due to break out. And now a high fly ball down the left field line. That is foul, and that is out of play. And Hartman is down 0-2. A foul out, a ground out, and a pop-up has been the day so far for Hartman. Batting with a couple of runners on and nobody out in the 6th. Here's the pitch, and it's taken for a called strike 3 right down the middle. Hartman watches it go. It's the 2nd K in the game for Hamill. One down. Maddie Bonvino at the plate. She swings at the first pitch and pops it up foul and out of play. Bonvino's been on base twice, a walk and a base hit. And now the pitch misses. The only update from the rest of the playoff games in this D1 South bracket we'll get to after this next pitch. Another pop-up foul and out of play. Bridgewater-Raynham taking on New Bedford, which has implications related to the 2 teams on the field here. That game just getting started at 1 o'clock. Bridgewater-Raynham taking a 1-0 lead after 2 innings. The winner of that game will take on the winner of this game. There's a 1-2 into Bonvino. It's in the dirt, gets away from the catcher, and both runners will advance. Como was initially able to block that ball, but then it ended up trickling a few feet behind. Took her a moment to recover, and by then, Pierre Gustavo was standing at 3rd, Tommaso down at 2nd. And it's a 2-2 count on the Milford second baseman. Here's the pitch. And that misses. See Como trying to frame that one at the top of the strike zone. And so for the 2nd straight at bat, we'll see a full count. Already seen 2 walks out of Shauna Hamill in the inning. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and it's grounded hard through the left side of the infield for a base hit. Pierre Gustavo will come in to score. Tommaso holds at 3rd base as Bonvino takes advantage of the throw into the left side of the infield to streak down to 2nd base. So it'll go in the books as an RBI single for Bonvino, but some heads-up base running. She's able to move down to 2nd. Drives in a run to make it now a 9-5 game. And for the first time all day, we'll see a visit to the pitcher circle on the Bishop Feehan side. As Milford is starting to put something together, they've grabbed a run back. It's now a 4-run deficit. Milford will need 1 more base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. They currently have 2 in scoring position, with Shannon Cormier waiting to dig in. Eight seniors in the starting lineup for Milford, and it's hard at this stage of the game to not have it creep into the back of your mind that you may be facing some of your final at-bats of your high school career if you can't produce. Cormier looking to come through here in a key spot. Takes the pitch high for ball one. Now a fly ball hit out into left field. Feely settles underneath, makes the catch. Tommaso tags, she comes to the plate, she will score. And moving on to third base goes Bonvino, just beating the throw. So credit Cormier with a sacrifice fly. And it's now 9-6. Two down in the inning. And a two-out RBI opportunity for Kelly Reichert. And Kelly just late on that first pitch fastball. Kelly a 1-for-3 day at the plate. And now sends one foul to the backstop and down in the count. 0-2. Reichert now just trying to find a way to get on base to bring that runner in from third. Hamill ready with the 0-2. Leaves it outside, could not get Reichert to chase. Now a 1-2 on the way, and Reichert sends it in the air out to right field, hit well, but Sheeran able to track it down for the final out of the inning. Milford able to produce two, the walks to lead off the inning, coming back to hurt Shauna Hamill. Milford narrows the gap now. It's 9-6 as we will head to the seventh inning when we come back next. Coverage of Milford High School athletics in the MIAA playoffs here on Milford TV. A must-hold situation here in the top of the seventh inning for Kelly Reichert in a game that has been a grind for the senior captain. She was able to set down the side in order in the sixth. But she will face the part of the Bishop Feehan lineup that has given her the most trouble all day, and that's batter 7, 8, and 9. This trio of hitters have reached base in 7 of their 9 plate appearances in the game, including the biggest hit of all, the 3-run home run by Isabella Sheeran, the number 9 hitter that came back in the 5th inning that right now is the difference in this ball game. As Milford was able to scratch across a couple of runs in the 6th to cut it to a 3-run margin. It's a quick 2-0 count into Lauren Archambault, who now hits one on the ground to shortstop. Pierre Gustavo, her throw sails on Jess Tommaso. She was able to keep it from going out of play, but lost contact with the first base bag. So there's the third Milford error this afternoon. And again, a chance for Raymer to get the bunt down. This time she gets it down in fair territory. Successfully sacrificing the runner into scoring position. And all things considered, I think Milford will take the out in that situation. In the previous 2 at-bats, Raymer looking to sacrifice, couldn't get the bunt down and ended up coming through with a base hit. So she's now 2 for 2 in the game with a pair of singles and a pair of sac bunts. And now Sheeran, she'll deliver a line drive over the reach of Emily Pierre Gustavo. Now the ball will roll to the fence, and around from second base to score comes Archambault on an RBI double for Sheeran, who now has 4 runs driven in the game out of the number 9 spot, and Feehan is able to take a 10-6 lead. And that one might eventually go in the books as a single and an E7. After that one was mishandled in the outfield by Antonia Bonina. And so Feehan able to grab a key insurance run in this top of the 7th inning. And another runner in scoring position as the leadoff hitter Levesque hits one slowly to second base. Bonvino is able to get the out at first. So the out goes 4-3, and on the play, Sheeran is able to advance to third. A 2 out at bat now for Brooks Rosinski, the shortstop, who takes one inside for ball 1. So the errant throw for Emily Pierre-Gustavo ends up leading to a run in the 7th inning. And now Straczynski hits one in the air out to left field. Bonina settles underneath and will make the catch for the out that ends the inning. And so the defending state champs, with their backs officially up against the wall, they will come to the plate in the bottom of the 7th inning, needing 4 runs to tie. We'll see what the senior-heavy team has left in the tank when we come back for the bottom of the 7th inning next here on Milford TV. Bishop Feehan stands just 3 outs away from knocking off the defending Division I state champs. Milford looking to dig deep and find a way to come through here at the plate, trailing 10-6. They will send Sabrina Harstick, Antonia Bonina, and Kate Irwin to the plate. Shauna Hamill back in the circle looking for the complete game effort. And a first pitch swing out of Sabrina Harstick. She drives one foul and out of play for strike 1. Sabrina 0 for 3. And now the pitch delivered up and in. Milford was able to cut it to a 3-run Feehan lead with a couple of runs scored in the 6th, but the Lady Shamrocks, thanks to a leadoff error by Milford, were able to produce an insurance run. So it's a 4-run advantage for the visitors. A 2-ball, 1-strike count now on the Milford third baseman. There's the pitch. And Harstick going after a high pitch, sends it foul to the backstop. The Milford bench not giving up. Now a 2-2, it's popped up. Out behind second base, it is Lauren Archambault who's able to make the catch. 1 up and 1 down in the bottom of the 7th. Milford down to their final 2 outs. And another chance now for Antonia Bonina, who's had a nice day. Both number 9 hitters have shined. Bonina's gone 2 for 3 with a triple. Here swings at the first pitch right to the second baseman. Archambault to first. And Milford with 2 very fast outs here in the 7th inning, and the Lady Scarlet Hawks, their season now rests in the bat of Kate Irwin. Kate last came to the plate with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th inning, but was unable to come through with a hit and a key turning point in the game. Bunt attempt on the first pitch goes foul. Everyone standing in the Milford dugout refusing to give up hope as Irwin now takes that pitch up and in. She was hit by a pitch in the helmet way back in the 1st inning. One ball and 1 strike. And the next pitch from Hamill, that is in for a called strike 2, grabbing the outside part of the plate, and now Hamill is 1 strike away, and perhaps for the first time seeing just a bit of an emotional reaction out of Hamill. A brief stroll behind the circle, but now locked back in, the 1-2 pitch, and it's floated down the left field line foul. Now a 1-2 pitch, and it's a line drive back up the middle. Through for a base hit. And Milford not done quite yet. Irwin comes through with the line drive, her third hit of the game. The 13th hit for the Lady Scarlet Hawks, and it gives Emily Pierre-Gustavo a chance to come to the plate, the senior captain. Emily 2 for 3 on the day, had that huge 2-run home run in the first inning that at the time tied the game. She walked and scored her last time up. She takes the first pitch here, high for ball 1. And now a called strike. Milford with their season on the line, down by 4 with 2 outs in the 7th. The next pitch to Pierre-Gustavo, and that misses outside. And you saw Camo try to pull it back to the corner. Now a 2-1 pitch, and Pierre-Gustavo fights it off, sends it through the hole on the left side. Milford able to come through with back-to-back hits here with 2 outs. They still need another base runner to bring the tying run to the plate, so this is where the insurance run in the top half of this inning for Feehan really comes into play. Tommaso now at the dish. Swings at the first pitch and drives it deep out to left field, and forget about that one. It is gone for a 3-run home run. And Milford all of a sudden is back within a run. It is now 10-9. Tommaso, first pitch swinging, loses it over the left field fence. So Tommaso, and what could potentially be her final at bat in a Milford uniform, drives a home run deep out to left field. But again, more work to do for Milford, and for Bishop Feehan, how big is that insurance run in the 7th inning now? Otherwise, this would be a tied game. And you can see now an intense conversation between head coach Steve DeVito and his junior catcher, Emily Hartman. Emily's such an emotional player, getting some words of encouragement from her head coach. Trying to stay within herself here after she's had a rough day at the plate, 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Milford back to within a run, and Hartman watches the first pitch miss inside. All of this taking place with 2 outs for Milford. What more do they have left? Hartman going after that pitch, rifles it foul. And just narrowly avoids. Our Milford TV executive director, Rob O'Keefe, operating the camera down the third base line. And now the 1-1 pitch. And Hartman floats it down the left field line. That's a fair ball rolling down into the corner. It trickles off the field of play, and it'll be a ground rule double for Emily Hartman. And Milford now with the tying run in scoring position. 4 straight hits with 2 outs in the inning for the Lady Scarlet Hawks. And this will now bring Maddie Bonvino to the plate. Maddie drove in a run in her last at bat. And the Milford fans re-engaged. Bonvino takes the first pitch. Another questionable strike call at the top of the zone. That high strike has been there all day for Hamill. The Milford coaching staff disagreeing. Now the 0-1 pitch, and this one well high. Bonvino walked in the first, popped out in the third, and then has singled in her last 2 at-bats. Here's the 1-1. And that one just barely grabbing a piece of the inside part of the plate. 2 questionable strikes in this at-bat so far, and now once again, Milford season down to its final strike. Bonvino back in there, the 1-2 pitch. Maddie goes after it, floats it out to left field into foul ground, and in and out of the glove of Caroline Feely. Everyone in the Milford crowd holding their breath as Feely went into the dive. Very nearly made the catch, but was not able to hold on. And you could see Bonvino not wanting to risk going down on strikes. Went after that high pitch. But she gets another chance here, still a 1-2 count. Hartman perched at second base. Here's the pitch. And another high one, and again Bonvino is able to foul it off. The ultimate pressure situation for the senior captain, Maddie Bonvino. That tying run, standing at second base. Another pitch from Hamill, and this one is taken high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Can cut the tension with a knife here in the Milford softball field. Here's the pitch. And Bonvino again is able to get a piece to foul it away, and what an at-bat being put on here by Maddie Bonvino, regardless of the outcome. She's fouled off a number of tough pitches, took 2 very tough strikes as part of this at-bat that easily could have been ruled balls. Trying to find one that she can deliver to a spot in the outfield that will bring Hartman to the plate to tie this game. 10-9 the score. Bonvino digs back in. Hamill ready, here's the pitch. And it's popped up in foul ground behind third base to the fence, and that one is out of play. Caroline Deem going as far as she could. Maddie staying ever so calm. With the season on the line, she is ready to see another pitch. Here it comes. And able to hold up on the swing. They will check down to the infield umpire, who says no swing. And the count now full. Can't get much more dramatic than this situation. Just able to hold up on the swing, and now a full count to Bonvino. Hartman will be able to get a head start at second base. Here is the pitch. And it is a tapper hit slowly to third base, fielded by Deem. She throws wild to first base, and Hartman will come around from third to score. Bonvino down to second base, and this game is tied at 10. Unbelievable. Here at the Milford softball field, from 2 outs and the bases empty, Milford has resurrected themselves. 4 runs scored. Maddie Bonvino with a dribbler down the third base line. Deem had to play it. It was not going to roll into foul territory, and would have been better served keeping it in the glove. Instead tried to rush the throw to first. It got away from Kaylee Mankins, and that allowed Hartman to cross the plate with the tying run. And now Milford with the winning run in scoring position at second base, and Coach DeVito doing everything he can to keep his hitters focused in. We saw a similar conversation unfold between Coach DeVito and Emily Hartman a couple of at-bats ago, and now a lengthy conversation with the senior captain, Shannon Cormier, who you could see the emotions before she came to the plate, now focused in as she digs in on the left side. A hit could win it now for Milford. And the first pitch is swung on and missed. Bonvino with a big secondary lead. The catcher looks her back to the bag. And now the 0-1. Cormier able to hold up on the swing. This is where the experience comes into play. Milford with so many crucial moments like this throughout the playoffs last year. Now the 1-1 pitch misses up and away. Two balls and one strike the count. And another pitch ruled a strike right at the top of the zone. Two outs in the inning. The 2-2 pitch is popped up again in foul ground to the fence, and that one will take a bounce off the third base dugout. Cormier now staying alive with two strikes. Bonvino representing the winning run at second base. A 2-ball, 2-strike count on the hitter. Here is the pitch, and it's a tapper hit back to the circle. It gets off of Hamill's glove and will roll out to short. Cormier safe at first base. And this Bishop Feehan team that has played so free and easy all day, starting to tighten up now here in the 7th inning with this turn of events. An error for the pitcher allows Cormier to reach. It allows Matty Bonvino to advance to third base, and now Milford with the winning run at third base, as we will see a visit from the head coach of the Bishop Feehan Lady Shamrocks, Bill Milo. He'll bring the entire infield in. Milford all of a sudden in the driver's seat, and they will have an opportunity to conference. Coach DeVito with a hand on the shoulder of Kelly Reichert, with the two base runners in close proximity. Matty Bonvino, who will be the runner at third, Cormier the runner at first. And what a moment now for Kelly Reichert. A difficult start in the circle today, allowing 10 runs, but all of that would be washed away if she can come through with a base hit in this situation to deliver Milford the ultimate come-from-behind victory. This inning started with a pop out from Sabrina Harstick, a ground out from Antonia Bonina that placed Bishop Feehan just 1 out away from an upset victory, up by 4. But since then, Milford rising from the ashes to tie this game at 10, and now with a golden opportunity to win it with the winning run ever so close at third base. Reichert now ready to stand in. First pitch of the at-bat is hit hard to the backstop. Reichert a big cut on the first pitch. 0-1 the count. And now this one driven in the air out to right field, now into foul territory, and that one twists out of play. That just kept on slicing. Ended up hooking to the outside of the first base dugout, and Kelly is now down in an 0-2 hole. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and just off the outside part of the plate. A tough pitch to take, but Kelly holds up on the swing, and the count goes to 1-2. The lone hit in the game for Reichert came back in the first inning. Here's a 1-2 pitch. It's a grounder hit to third base, snagged by Deem. Her throw to first base is good, and that will end the bottom of the 7th inning. Milford leaves the winning run at third base, but from 2 outs and nobody on, Milford is able to spark a 4-run rally. They tie this game at 10, and this first-round playoff matchup will head to extra innings. Coverage of Milford High School softball here on Milford TV. Well, regardless of how this game ultimately finishes, Milford with a rally for the ages in the bottom of the 7th inning, proving just how hard it is to take out the defending champs. 2 outs and the bases empty in the inning. Kate Irwin and Emily Pierre-Gustavo kept the inning alive with back-to-back base hits before Jess Tomaso unloaded over the left field fence for a 3-run bomb. Emily Hartman with a ground rule double. Matty Bonvino with a trickler down the third base line. An errant throw to first base allowed the tying run to score. And so Milford with a 4-run rally to tie And so now into the top of the 8th inning. Kelly Reichert unable to get a hit that would have ended the ball game in the 7th. Now back out to the circle for the 8th, where she will face batters 3, 4, and 5 in the Shamrocks order. Fans who have come out to the Milford softball field today have seen some serious drama unfold, and we're not through yet. A 1-ball, no-strike count on Kaylee Mankins. And now a bouncer in, and the question here is how much does Kelly Reichert have left in that right arm? She has had to throw a tremendous amount of pitches through her first 7 innings. Again, allowing 10 runs on 15 hits. Ready now with a 2-0. And the line drive back up the middle. That is down for a hit. Irwin gets the throw back in. But it's a single for Mankins. It's her first hit since the first inning. Bishop Feehan has had their leadoff runner on in 6 of the 8 innings of this game. They've had base runners in every inning with the exception of the 6th. And now Reichert with a fastball that misses just inside. Caroline Deem at the plate. Sends one to third base. Harstick will go to second to get the out there. Bonvino will hang on to it. No chance to get the double play, but Milford able to cut down the lead runner. Deem safe on the fielder's choice. And that will send up the Shamrocks catcher, Gabrielle Camo, who is 2 for 4. One of those hits drove in a run in the big inning for Bishop Feehan, that 4-run 4th inning. A 2-run rally in the first, a 4-run rally in the 4th. They scored 3 times in the 5th. And then that all-important insurance run in the 7th inning. The only reason that we continue to play softball into this 8th inning. It's a quick 0-2 count now on Camo. That one misses inside. Reichert could not get Camo to chase. Still only 1 strikeout in the game for Kelly. Here's her 1-2 pitch, and in on the hands. Camo able to make contact. Caroline Deem, the runner at first base. Another 1-2 pitch that skips in. Hartman doing a good job of keeping that one in front. Bridgewater Raynham continues to lead New Bedford. It's a 2-0 score, but BR with a bases loaded opportunity in the 5th. Milford fans looking at that matchup now with renewed interest with this game tied up. Good job by Camo to foul off that pitch. It ended up and over the backstop. And now this one will get a piece of Camo. Looked like it might have gotten her off the side of the hand. That pitch coming up and in. Camo not doing a whole lot of work to get out of the way. Giving Feehan now a couple of base runners with 1 out in the inning. So 1 down in the inning. Caroline Deem now pushed into scoring position at second base. Shauna Hamill will come to the plate. Ever so close to a complete game victory in that 7th inning, but Milford with other ideas, scoring 4 runs off the Feehan starter. No swing on the first pitch as Hamill was able to hold up. And now 2-0 the count. Hamill produced an RBI single in the first inning, since then has grounded out twice and flown out to right field. Batting with the go-ahead run in scoring position and now shoots it back up the middle for a base hit. Irwin comes up with it cleanly. The runner takes a wide turn around third base and now retreats on a good throw back in by Kate Irwin all the way to the plate. So a single for Shauna Hamill, and now Feehan has the bases loaded. And back out of the dugout comes head coach Steve DeVito. He'll pull the entire infield in for the conference. So it's Feehan now answering back. Once again, just goes to the fortitude of this Bishop Feehan team to see a 4-run lead collapse with 2 outs in the 7th inning, and to still come in with the focus here in this top of the 8th inning to produce what so far has been a bases-loaded rally. 2 hits, one from Mankins to lead off the inning, and that line drive base hit from Hamill. You had the fielder's choice play and the hit by pitch mixed in between, and so now the base is full of Shamrock runners. It's Deem the lead runner at third, Como at second, and Hamill at first. Courtesy runner at second base for the catcher. It is Amanda Folan. One out in the inning. A fly ball would likely produce the go-ahead run, with Lauren Archambault at the plate, who has been on base all 4 times she's come to the plate. She will take the first pitch high for ball 1. Archambault reaching on an infield single in the 2nd. She singled and scored in the 4th, reached on an infield single and scored in the 5th, and reached on an error and scored that all-important 10th run in the top of the 7th inning. Now an even count of a ball and a strike, and now a floater hit out to shallow left field. That touches down for a hit. A run will cross the plate. Not hit hard, but well placed for Archambault, an RBI single, and Feehan will go back on top 11-10. Everyone advancing a base on the shallow single from Archambault. And now Hannah Raymer at the dish. She sends one hard, but fouled just wide of third base. 2 hits and 2 runs scored on the resume this afternoon for Hannah Raymer, as once again it is this bottom third of the lineup that has been Kelly Reichert's kryptonite. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And it's floated in, but high. That top of the strike zone has been anyone's guess as this game has gone along. Here's now the 1-1 pitch. That one a little bit further up. 2 balls and a strike on Hannah Raymer, with nowhere to put her on the base paths. And now a little bit off on the timing by Raymer. She sends it far but foul off to the left. And that evens up the count at 2. Reichert back into the windup, her 2-2 pitch. It's popped up foul behind the plate. Hartman gives it a look, but that one out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 3 on. And a ground ball foul. And again, a starting pitcher that collected 120 strikeouts through the regular season. Reichert has just 1 through 7 1/3 innings so far today. Would love to make it 2 here. Her 2-2 pitch, and that's in for a called strike 3. There when she needed it the most. A second strikeout for Reichert, but not out of the woods yet. The bases remain loaded now with 2 outs, and a chance for Isabella Sheeran, who has been absolutely clutch in these late innings. A 3-run homer in the 5th, and an RBI single in the 7th. 4 runs batted in. Rounds the first pitch foul for strike 1. She's been on base 3 times in total. Pitch from Kelly. Close on the outside part of the plate. Coach DeVito continues to disagree with the strike zone as this inning goes on. Now the 1-1 pitch is a bouncer. 2 balls and a strike. Can Reichert get out of this bases loaded jam? Here's the 2-1 pitch. And that one in for a strike. In a near identical location to where ball 2 was called. Reichert now 1 strike away from getting out of it. Here comes the 2-2 pitch, and it's a liner hit foul. Reichert flexes the right arm. Now back on the rubber with the 2-2 count. Here's the pitch, and it's a tapper foul. And Sheeran just barely able to get a piece to hang in there. Now another 2-2 pitch, and it's grounded to second base. Bonvino plays it cleanly and fires to first to get the out to end the inning. Feehan does score the go-ahead run, but Reichert able to strand the bases loaded. And again, the Lady Hawks will come to the plate with their season on the line. They trail Bishop Feehan by a score of 11-10. It will be the bottom of the 8th when we come back next here on Milford TV. This has been a game that has had every twist and turn you might expect out of a state championship game, but it is only round 1 of these MIAA playoffs. We now enter the bottom of the 8th inning with Milford trailing once again 11-10. And Sabrina Harstick popping the pitch up foul and out of play to quickly fall behind 0-2. It'll once again be 8-9-1. To lead off the inning, the same exact situation that came up in the 7th. Harstick still in search of her first hit of the game. Takes the 0-2 pitch high. It's the 1-2 pitch, and Harstick able to fight it off. Sabrina trying to protect the plate, down 1-2. And takes it down and in. This time the groans come out of the Feehan dugout. Two balls and 2 strikes. Hamill's next pitch, lifted in the air, out to right center field, and it ticks off the glove of Jessica Levesque. She went a long way for it. Harstick hustling into second, and she will get there safely. That ball kept slicing away from Levesque, more towards right field, but Sheeran didn't get a good break on it, so it was Levesque's ball, and she could not make up the ground. That ball dying out in shallow right center field, and Harstick ends up at second base with a gift double. And Milford puts the tying run in scoring position to open up the inning. And now Bonina showing bunt, sends it on a line to the backstop. Trying to move that runner along, but a tricky situation with the lefty hitter. She is able to bunt the ball towards the first base side this time, but again, it's foul. And Antonia now down 0-2. Working on a 2-for-4 day at the plate. And now is able to send this ball in the air out to shallow left field, and that's going to drop in. They fire into second base, and they get Sabrina Harstick leaning off the second base bag. A terrible break for Milford as Harstick got caught a couple of feet off of that second base bag, and Caroline Feely, to her credit, fires back in, and Harstick is out number one, and Milford on the brink of having 2 on with nobody out. It's now a runner at first base with 1 down. A tough time for a mental lapse. As now Kate Irwin flies one out to shallow center field. The catch is made, and what a turn of events in this 8th inning. Now all of a sudden, Milford down to their last out yet again. And it will take something from Emily Pierre-Gustavo if we are to continue. Pierre-Gustavo takes the first pitch high for ball 1. Milford does have good speed at first base in Bonina. These Milford fans trying to will on another 2-out rally as Pierre-Gustavo sends it in the air out to center field underneath, and making the catch is Jessica Levesque, and that is that. And complete and utter shock here on the Milford softball field as this time the rally falls short. And the emotion just absolutely pouring out of some of these Milford High School seniors as Bishop Feehan is able to gut out an 8-inning victory. Feehan wins this game by a final score of 11-10, and these Milford fans are absolutely shell-shocked as the defending state champs are eliminated in the first round. Pierre-Gustavo sending one deep out into right field, but Levesque able to make the catch. And there will be no repeat as Division I state champions for Milford this year as they are eliminated from the playoffs here in the first round. And again, it's just complete disbelief for a lot of these players and a lot of these fans, a lot of raw emotion here on the Milford softball field. And there's no question that this loss is going to sting for the players and it's going to sting for the fans, but as difficult as it is, you have to absolutely admire the effort for Milford here today, digging deep for that 4-run rally in the 7th. And for a lot of these seniors now, their high school careers come to an abrupt halt, but we do want to recognize those seniors for an outstanding career here in Milford. They'll walk away eventually thinking back to the state championship they earned in 2017, but for Emily Pierre-Gustavo, Alexis Caron, Shannon Cormier, Kate Irwin, Kelly Reichert, Maddie Bonvino, Jess Tomaso, and Antonia Bonina, the high school career comes to an end here on the home field today in a complete shock, but we certainly salute those players for outstanding careers here for this Milford High School team. But a shocking defeat here today as Milford is eliminated from the playoffs. They fall to Bishop Feehan by a final score of 11-10. And Bishop Feehan will play on to the quarterfinal round where they will face the winner of Bridgewater Raynham and New Bedford. So that brings a quick end to our high school coverage for this 2017-2018 school year. We thank you so much for tuning in From the fall sports season to the spring sports season, happy to bring you coverage every step of the way here on Milford TV. So we will be back with Scarlet Hawks athletics once again in the fall. A huge thank you to our Milford TV crew on hand for the game today, our director John Giacomuzzi and our camera operator Rob O'Keefe. And I am Tim Coet. That final score, one final time in shocking fashion. Milford falls in the first round of the playoffs. They lose to Bishop Feehan in 8 innings by a final score of 11-10. This has been a presentation of Milford High School Athletics here on Milford TV. So long, everybody.